And like, if you know, you guys don't know, but when you apply for permits or extensions, you don't get them immediately. And a lot of times people pray not to get them immediately because that buys you more time. And if you don't like me, I don't like you too. Like, I don't even know if you exist. Okay. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Rhoda Oluwafemi. I film about lifestyle, social issues and adventures. And if you're new, you're welcome. Please subscribe to get subscribed to my channel and turn on the notification button to get notified whenever there's a new video up on my channel. First, I want to say a very big thank you for the warm reception on my last video. You guys, thank you. Thank you. Anyways, from the title of this video, you guys can already tell what we're talking about today. Okay, first of all, I want you guys to know that you need to go and learn French. Go and learn French. Okay, there's this French voiceover that has been trending on social media. Bon santé. Like, go learn French. Okay, go learn French because you need it. I'm not saying you can't get your PR without learning French. Of course, like, I know a lot of people, a lot of my friends, they got their PR without French. Okay, but French is literally the easiest way right now. Like, go learn French. Okay, so first of all, you guys know my journey. I came in as a student in 2023 and I did 1-year course, human resources management, and because of my 1-year course, I was only entitled to 1-year postgraduate work permit, which meant that I had just 1-year work permit. Like, my work permit was valid for 1 year, and I graduated in October 2024. So I applied for my postgraduate work permit in October 2024 as well. And like, if you know, you guys don't know, but when you apply for permits or extensions, you don't get them immediately. And a lot of times people pray not to get them immediately because that buys you more time. In my case, I actually wanted it to be faster because I was going to apply for my UK visa. And to apply for my UK visa, I needed to show proof that I had my legal status in Canada. And I also had to show that I had a stamp to come back into Canada. Those were the two things that were very important, aside from proof of funds. The postgraduate work permit that I got in December 2024, obviously I did a 1-year course. I was getting a 1-year work permit. So 2024 December to 2025 December. So I literally had just 1 year. But before then, I had gotten into the pool. I got into the pool in September when I was done with school. In September 2024, which was a year, like exactly a year in Canada. September, I wrote my exam. So you can either write CELPIP or IELTS. So IELTS is like the British English kind of exam, and CELPIP is like the Canadian one. I wrote my CELPIP in September. I was in the pool. I did my West evaluation. I think I started my West evaluation before then because that takes like a much longer time, especially if you didn't attend like private university where things are pretty fast, I believe. Like, in my own case, things were not as fast. I literally had to pay someone, rely on the regular administrative process. It would have taken forever. So I had to pay someone extra to help me do the work. Like, literally take it from one table to another. That happened to even be too long because I was evaluating 2 different degrees. I advise that you start with your West, especially if you're attending the Nigerian university. Start with your West. I started with West and then I got my West and then I wrote my exam in September. Now I got into the pool, but at the time I just had my West, my English exam and my Canadian education. So at the time I wasn't 30, I was 29. I had like 420 in the pool. I was like, oh, 420, like, this is not good. And like, next year I'm going to be 30, they're going to deduct like 5 marks, which they did. Like, in the morning of May 1, they slashed 5 marks, like they removed 5 marks. So I had 415. And you had known that before 2025, so I didn't wait until then. And I speak French. If you don't know, now you know. Je parle français, je comprends français. So I was like, okay, like 420 and then 415 next year. My score was that low because my Canadian experience had not kicked in. You know, whatever you do as a student doesn't count. So I needed to do something. I needed to boost my score. As someone who attended French Village in 2015 and 2016, I knew that I needed to like brush up on my French. I used YouTube, and then I paid a tutor. We were about 3 in the class, so I used to do that class, I think 4 times, sorry, I think 3 times in a week. The class used to hold. I paid for 6 months French tutorial class. So my birthday is in May, and last year I went to UK. So I was like, okay, I don't want to write this exam before I go on my birthday vacation, because I don't want to be on that trip and be upset or be angry when the result comes out. So I was like, okay, I'm going to write this exam when I get back from my birthday trip. So I wrote my exams in May after my birthday trip. I took my laptop to UK. I was like, okay, I'm going to study. I'm going to lies. Like, I just carried that thing for carrying sake. I just stressed myself. I shouldn't have carried it, because I didn't even open it. And I think that's so on brand of me. When I'm on vacation, it's strictly vacation, because when it's time for work, it's strictly work as well. So I don't want to mix pleasure and study. Let's focus. Like, this life is just one. Let's focus. I know I have a short period of time, because my work permit was going to expire in December, so I had like a limited time. But then again, I was like, okay, I'm not going to be out of status. I'm not going to do anything illegal to continue be here, like to continue staying here. I love it here. I like to be here, but if I'm not able to get it, there's love back home. But if I'm going to do this exam like after my birthday, meanwhile, like my birthday is in May and the next month is June, so I had like 6 months like left. Mind you, I started working. My work experience, rather, I started counting from the time I graduated. So I graduated in October. So from that experience, I started counting. And you know, at the time they needed 6 months. So November, December, January, February, March, April, right? And then like 6 months. The result came out, and then I also included it to my profile. Apparently, my profile wasn't even sitting right. And so this episode is actually also a testimony. You guys recall that I shared with you that I had a guest in my house for a couple of weeks. I think for like 5 weeks, whom a Uber driver tried to steal from, and that was like literally our first day in Canada, and it was so hectic, but we found the stuff. Yes. So she came in as a PR, and because we're not friends, you know, it was just, she was a friend's friend that I just accommodated because she was coming in. And I know how a lot of people talk about, you know, coming in and housing is difficult. So, and I was just like, this is a good way to be good to somebody, like to be good to a stranger, and not just a stranger, but to also my friend, because this is someone I respect so much. Shout out to you, Darren. He's one of my very, very good friends. So she came in, and just randomly, right, she would have even left if she had gotten an apartment like in 3 weeks or 4 weeks of being here, but we needed to extend it because she had not gotten an apartment to her taste. And I told her, like, I'm already housing you, so you don't have to rush to just get any other apartment. Get an apartment that you really like and then move. She then needed to extend and needed to like communicate to my landlord, because I told him a certain date and I needed to extend it, and so I needed to communicate, because I also didn't want to be doing something against our agreement. Glad that happened, because it was in that extra 2 weeks that we had conversation about my period. And I was like, oh, you know, like I'm currently doing like a part-time job, right? So I don't have complete hours here. She was like, no, that it doesn't matter, that she doesn't think so. Can we look at it? And I was like, oh, I'm going to work, because at that time I was going to work. I was like, oh, when we come back, we're going to look at it. It was just on a random Friday. This someone that, again, we're not friends, but we started getting to know each other, obviously, because we're in the same space. So I got back on this Friday, and it turned out that my profile wasn't even sitting well, guys. Like, my profile wasn't sitting well. That score wasn't supposed to be my score. I didn't put just one thing in the right thing. So my Canadian work experience was actually in the wrong place. I should have put it just in the next line, but it was before, and it was in the wrong place. So it wasn't even calculating anything. And the moment my guest took that work experience out of that line and put in the next line, my score just skyrocketed to 500. Believe me, guys, my score just went up to 500. I was like, such a discovery. Mind you, there was a draw on my birthday, May 1, which was the same day that Sissy took 5 marks for my score. I didn't even care whether I'd missed a draw on May 1st. I was just so happy that my profile was sitting well, because I could have missed the draw that actually got me my PR. I could have missed that as well in summer. So I would say August, because she left in August. And then in September, the day that my phone got bad the second time, you guys recall last episode I was talking about what led me to buying a new phone. So the day that my phone got bad, I was going to work. And the day was when I got my ITA in September. So imagine that my guest had not stayed extra 2 weeks, because she came in around July. She was supposed to stay for I think 1 month. So she got extra 2 weeks in August. So imagine she didn't get that extra 2 weeks to stay with me. I wouldn't have known there was something wrong. Like, I was already sure that everything was good with my profile, surely because I'd added my friend's score and I was like, okay, and my score is coming up, my score is coming up, and then I'm still working, so like in 1 year time my score would have improved, yada yada yada, not knowing that it wasn't even the right sitting at all. This is why I had to repair my phone, and I just knew that, oh, I'm buying a new phone was because from my GCK account I needed to use my authenticator app, which was on my phone. I had to repair it like the next day, which was on a Friday, to get it, because there was no way I would have, like, a new phone would have not done that for me. I needed to actually log into that old phone to get my authentication and then to transfer my things. So I repaired it the next day, which was on a Friday, and then on Saturday I went to get a new phone. I repaired my phone on Friday and I was able to have access to my phone, and then I accepted the ITA. In the coming video, I'm going to be talking about how I then submitted my application. See you guys in my next video. Thanks for watching, guys, and bye for now.